How'd you feel about today?
Good. I think a big check mark is just getting in there and getting in the pace and the tempo of a normal start and kind of getting your times back in line, getting comfortable being on the mound with the pitch clock. Obviously having hitters in the box, so checked off a lot of things. Physically feel great. Yeah, good day.
The second inning, not as sharp as the first. Is that part of it too? Getting used to coming.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a long time since I've been on a mound. I think there's a little bit of that like adrenaline dump in the first inning. Physically don't feel as good going out for the second. Took me a minute to get command. Made some good pitches in that inning too that, could swing the count one way or the other. Felt like I made good pitches on the 2 base hits I gave up, just not really getting ahead in the count with breaking balls and putting myself in, poor counts. But overall, I felt like I executed a lot of my pitches well. The secondary stuff wasn't quite as sharp execution-wise. The shapes felt good, but just didn't get them to the spots I needed to.
How about velo? How did that feel? Did you get?
I didn't see what they were. But
some 93s and 4s.
Yeah, I mean that's about where I've been. I've been like 2 to 5, anywhere in that range. Haven't done 3 up, so I don't know what my velo was in the last inning, but I felt like I was maintaining decently well.
What did you think about what the team did yesterday at the deadline, getting 2 starting pitchers to kind of go with waiting for you and Nick to kind of get?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, our offense has worked their ass off this year to get things right. And the pitching staff has kind of had to piece it together lately. A lot of that, responsibility falls on me and Nick. Injuries happen, but this team counted on us being there and being a part of that rotation. And him and I are doing everything we can to get back as soon as we can. But having some reinforcements come in, especially guys like that have done it for a while at a high level. Robbie's track record speaks for itself. Casey being a first overall pick and kind of coming into his own in the league as a starter. Really good. And then heard a lot of good things about the teams they came from, about work ethic and just quality of person, so excited to have them.
Does that, having them, allow you to kind of like just settle into the schedule? You don't have to rush. You don't have to cut a corner. There's reinforcements now.
I mean, I didn't plan on cutting any corners to begin with. The rush thing is not really up to me. I mean, if I could, I would rush back and be back sooner than possible, but the staff and AJ and them got a plan for us to get there. This does make it, give us a little more peace of mind that not everyone's holding their breath waiting for us to get back, that they got a little bit of help until we can get back. But, the way that our rotation will round out when me and Nick get back in the rotation, I feel really confident about it.
How encouraged were you by just what you were able to do out the sun?
Yeah, I mean, it feels good. We threw 117 last week, so conditioned for the 11 a.m. hot starts. But yeah, I mean, I felt good about it. I feel really good that, going out for my 3rd inning, I felt better than when I went out for the 2nd. Typically it should be the other way around. As you go further, it should get harder and you should feel a little more tired. But I felt like getting the jitters out in that 1st inning, kind of trying to deal with some traffic on base and get out of some tough situations in the 2nd and 3rd inning. I felt like I was kind of just starting to settle in, and then, ball gets taken. But I kind of knew the pitch count. I was just happy I was able to go and get the 3rd up. So hopefully I can get a 4th up next time.
How taxing is it to go to the pitch clock again?
Today it wasn't as bad. I was like uber aware of it today. And in my spring training start, I really struggled to get on time with the clock. Just physically, felt very fast. Obviously not pitching for a year and get back in a spring training game. All the things that go on and run through your mind as a big league starter, those things are overtaking my ability to be aware of the clock. So I felt a lot better about it today. I don't think I had any violations. More so just getting on the same page with the catcher was difficult. With the pitch clock not having much time, if you don't get that first sign you like in the first 2, it's really hard to get what you want. So there's a few pitches thrown out of character there, but more so just to maintain the clock. So. Probably 3 to 4 innings in 5 days, so Sunday somewhere. That's what I would assume. Mechanically, I feel pretty good. I do feel like there's some adjustments that need to be made. I think for a long time I was pitching around the discomfort and the pain. So my body's adopted some poor habits movement-wise, so I don't feel like I'm still dealing with the pain, but I'm trying to break the habit of the movement that I created while I was dealing with it. So I feel really close. I don't feel far off. I don't feel lost. I just don't feel quite myself yet. Yeah, man, there's some good close pitches. I'm sure he's trying to keep it realistic for me and not open the zone up to what some of the minor league zones you see are, but yeah, it's tough. Those are always tough. You can't really complain about it. He's making the calls. But yeah, some of those pitches go my way. It swings the count very differently. I throw different pitches. So not to say the same result wouldn't happen, but would have saved me a few pitches, maybe the chance to finish the 3rd inning. Great. Yeah, it was really good. We had 20 minutes to get on the same page and try to learn my arsenal a little bit. So I always enjoy like these rehab starts because sometimes you learn some new things that you have, and like you find new weapons by having a catcher call things that you typically don't throw. So I threw a lot more sinkers to lefties than I typically ever do. I hardly never throw them, mainly because we didn't use a changeup. We tried to find spots to use the sinker to lefties, and I had good success with it, good action. Yeah, I think for him it's just like the confidence and trusting his arm. I think his stuff is in a really good spot. I think there's just throughout this process he's had days where like he has a hard time really letting the ball go and like being confident and going through his motion. Not to say that it hurts him, but there's been pain there in the past, so there is like that mental block or hesitation of like, if I really rip this, am I going to set myself back? But being around him, he's done a really good job of pacing himself and like picking times to really get good work in, and then other days it's stay away from it completely. So I think we're in a similar spot as far as how we're feeling physically. I think when he comes out of this, he'll probably give you a better idea of how his stuff feels, but I'd like to say that he's pretty confident with where his stuff's at.
Joe, Padres by at the deadline still very much in that wild card race.
Yeah.
It's been a long road for you to kind of get back into the major league level.
Yeah.
How excited are you, and how excited is Nick, if you could speak to him a little bit, to be back and try and gear up for a late September push? Yeah,
I mean, this is everything, dude. Playoff baseball is like the most fun thing you can do as an athlete. You know, and a lot of guys go through their entire career without getting a chance to ever see it. So fortunate to be in a club and, you know, at a time when the Padres are as good as they are. And yeah, being out for so long, man, it's just the competition is what you miss. You know, you do all this hard work and all the effort goes in, and you usually get that release every 5 days of getting to go get that competitive, you know, juice flowing and kind of get some of that out of your system. So it's been damn near 2 years since I've been able to do that. So I'm really looking forward to doing that at the big league level.
On that same note of competition, talk about the differences of like rehab and like doing live BP and everything like that, and kind of going through your you know, just getting used to everything again, and then the differences of going out and actually pitching at a minor league level.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot more curated for you on the live BPs. You know, there's no defense half the time. You can station lefties and righties in the lineup so you can get what you need. If you got a rolling inning, you can roll it. If you want them to stay in there for an extra pitch, you can kind of like customize the outing how you want. Out here, you're more at, you know, you're more, what's the word I'm looking for? You're at the whim of, you know, the game, of what happens and the pace and everything. So that's very important for me, is just getting the pacing back and the timing, having stands, having some crowd noise. Just a lot of things I haven't felt in a while.
The game against Great in spring training, do you feel like maybe that pushed you a little bit too far? You know, you threw like 60 pitches at the end.
Yeah, I threw a lot of pitches in that outing.
That was your first outing.
Yeah, I think 3 innings, 60 pitches, felt like a lot. But in the moment, you feel good, you know. Like, I wasn't begging to come out of that game. It's just maybe I shouldn't have let myself go that far in my first one. I never felt great coming into spring. I was always kind of under the idea that I just got to keep working. This thing's going to start to iron itself out, and I'll turn a corner soon. And that day just never came. So I went into that outing not feeling great and a little bit, you know, skeptical of where my arm was going to be. In the moment, competition, adrenaline, you don't feel much. And then, yeah, next day I had a really hard time moving my arm. So that could have been part of it. It could have just been my arm wasn't ready. Could have been the pitch count, but yeah.
Special for the guys in the clubhouse?
Yeah, we got him some taco truck. There was a coffee cart here this morning. I think we got a Cold Stone truck coming later. So try to do a little something. We're gonna leave some gifts for him in the locker room. Something to spice up their locker room a little bit. No, not me. No, I was up at 6:30 this morning to get on a bus and come up here. So long day.
What was it like to have to pitch at 11 a.m.?
I've done it enough now, man. I mean, I'm an early riser. I always feel like the pitcher is more ready than the batters are on a day like this. So I don't mind it. And it's one of the hardest things, I think, as a starter. For me, at least, I think a lot of guys would tell you, is like the wait. You know, waking up and having to sit around all day and like just wait for that moment, and you're trying to gauge. I don't want to exert myself too much. I don't want to be too tired. There's just a lot of bullshit that goes on. So it's nice to get up, get some coffee, go out and pitch. So.
Thank you very much.
asked for his name. It's like, oh, that's first candy bar name. He's like Steve about it. Take down.
Yeah. Musgrove.